Paul Bickerton is furious. For the 10th time this year, his backyard cameras have captured kids raiding his house.
Here we have a young fellow. He's obviously got a bottle in his hand. He's stolen. He's running out the back.
The Derby Chamber of Commerce head recently wrote to the Chief Magistrate, warning residents are so angry there is the risk of violence.
I have heard people talking about setting booby traps and bits and pieces to capture these kids, which we do not want them harmed.
It's not just an issue in Derby. Anger is growing in towns across northern WA about the increasing number of break-ins and thefts by young people.
There's about 30-40% extra burglaries, steal motor vehicle over a 6-year period.
During their nighttime patrols, police see dozens of young children roaming the streets unsupervised.
Like I said to you, they don't want to go home because there's drunk people there, there's people fighting, there's possibilities for other things that had happened to them that they don't want to be around.
Gordon Marshall, an Aboriginal police liaison officer for 23 years, agrees.
It's peer pressure sometimes, but some of them do break into places. Some of them we find for food, money.
200 kilometres east in Fitzroy Crossing, community leaders say youth crime is a big problem.
Kids in town, walking around at night, late at night, vandalising properties, breaking ins. It's becoming a new hobby for them.
Kids don't like hanging around at home, lots of alcohol, drugs around.
The one thing that everyone agrees on in towns like Fitzroy Crossing is that the current system is not working. What's more difficult is getting consensus on where to from here. Teenagers, some who've racked up 40 or 50 offences, are flown to Perth to juvenile detention, handcuffed to security guards.
I've seen young kids at the airport at different times with a 6'10" police officer or a custodial officer, and that child handcuffed to them. I'm sure there's no joy for that custodial officer, and there's certainly no joy for that child. But we do need a facility in the Kimberley.
We've got more kids being arrested, apprehended, more kids being subject to detention by the courts than we've ever had before in the Kimberley, yet crime rates have not reduced.
Fitzroy Crossing woman Denise Andrews wants the community to help design new ways to solve the problem.
That when kids are taken away, they still come back to the same environment because the parents aren't getting that help they need as well.
The state government has no funding set aside for a new facility in WA's north, but says it is working on finding alternative accommodation options for young detainees. Erin Park, ABC News, Fitzroy Crossing.